in the meeting with all the players that I have in the morning, glad you can make it today, but all the players that I have in our walkthrough, the special teams unit, we have a good group, and we had a conversation today because I needed their help, because I'll be married 40 years in July, and today's my wife's birthday, and so I asked them how to approach it, because last year I bought her a bunch of jewelry, and she brought it all back, and so I didn't know what to do anymore. I'm at that point, so I asked them about, should I bring it up? Should I say it in the media, happy birthday to my wife of 40 years? And they thought I should, and they said, how old is she? I said, I don't really think I can say that part, but maybe I could just say that, I'm finally sleeping with an older woman, or she's my older woman fantasy, one of those two. And Jonathan Owen said, if you say that, it might go viral, and I told him I don't know what the hell that means. So I guess we'll see what that does. But happy birthday to my wife of 40 years marriage, and she's a lot older than that. But I'll take any questions you may have about football.
What's her first name? What's her first name?
Jeannie, like I dream of.
Happy birthday, Jeannie.
Yeah, happy birthday, Jeannie.
Does that get easier to buy those birthday gifts as the years go on, or harder?
Well, evidently from my conversation telling you that she brought them all back, it certainly doesn't. It's, what do you get the person that has me? I don't know. But she's an incredible person, and 25-year trauma ICU RN, and raised 4 kids and now 5 grandkids, and I'm fortunate to be in a marriage with a person like that. So.
I bought my wife a really fancy clarinet once, and she took it back too, so I feel you on that one.
Yeah, so you can understand. Right?
Maybe you should
played the clarinet.
Yeah.
Rich, what is the challenge this week with these guys, and what do you see from them?
Yeah, great question. I think I'm very familiar with Coach Tabor, and certainly kind of going through the situation he's going through now. He's been known throughout the league for a long time as a coach that players love to play for. His units play extremely hard right now. I think Eddie Pinero was the NFC Player of the Week last week for his performance in, really poor weather over there with the field goal. And they're an explosive punt return game. He's had a touchdown already. I think it was a 79-yarder. And then they're explosive in the kick return game. And, they've covered some kicks this year. They're a physical, fast bunch. So I think the challenge is going to that place is playing a team that's playing extremely fast and physical for a coach they really enjoy playing for. And I think we'll see that. Johnny Hecker's been around forever. He's a former, I call him a quarterback punter, because he's always a threat to throw the ball or some sort of fake coming from him regardless of where you are in the field. He's up at over 20 attempts throwing the ball in his career at punter. So it'll be a challenge for us to be able to keep up with this group.
You mentioned their kick return game briefly. What is it the returners that are so good at it, or is it I'm sure it's probably both, but the blocking, what's
Yeah, I think their scheme kind of comes out of, to some degree, they're a fast unit back there. Both the returners, whether it's number 3 or 5, have been back there, are fast and explosive and physical and good finishers. And I think their scheme is kind of difficult to dissect a little bit, the way in which they're blocking it. They come out of a little bit of the Kansas City mode. They were together, Taves and Dave were together in Chicago. So we know the damage that Dave has done with Hester and the guys that he's had, and Taves has been a part of that as well. So I think a combination of the blocks, but what they're doing scheme-wise, they do some multiple things. They do a bunch of different double-team looks that they try to take away some of your better players. And so the chess match of where we put those guys, will be seen as to who ends up on the better end of that day.
You mentioned Hecker passing. What does that do for you call them jammers? Is that what you call them?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay.
Outside guys.
So what does it do for those guys where, as far as actually doing their job that they would normally do, but now they have to watch out for the punter throwing it?
Well, yeah, it puts you in a position where, what are you going to do formationally on the punt return team? How are you going to play it? Are you going to put 2 guys to one side? Are you going to go double-double on both sides? And they've got some tremendous, gunners playing out there. We call them flyers. Number 90 is a big 6'4", 6'5", fast guy on one side, and 42's on the other, and he's a tremendous player for them as well. So, again, we've got our hands, full going into this game because of the unit that he's built over there in Carolina and because of the way that they're playing. It'll be a good challenge for us, but I know we're looking forward to it.
Hecker threw it against the Packers in 2018 in the Coliseum when he was with the Rams. Do you play several clips of that example so the guys can mentally get an idea what that might look like?
Yeah, they've seen a bunch of them, and it's on today. You know, again, I think it's over 20, might be 23 attempts that he's had over his career. You know, the teams he's been on. So we're preparing for it. We've seen it, and we'll see what happens if it happens. So they're always going to do something different. You know, we're prepared all the time for what someone's going to do, and hopefully they prepared some of the things in our past. You know, we talked about that in here at one time, looking through all the film over all these coaches' past, right? Same thing they do to us. So we're prepared for it. We'll see how we play against it.
Hey, Rich. Joe Barry's going to be in here next. And, you know, one of the drawbacks to this job is sometimes you have to ask some tougher questions about situations. I'm wondering, do you know what you sign up for when you get into this business? There's a lot of great qualities to it, but, you know, if your unit is struggling or your group is struggling, there's going to be questions about your job security and stuff. And I'm just wondering how you've handled that throughout the years of being in this league.
Yeah, I think that, you know, that you kind of answered the question in the question. I think we all get into this knowing what we've signed up for. So, you know, it's like I've said before with some of the kicks, right? When the guy makes them all, everybody loves the kicker. And you miss some kickers and, you know, they want to work out, we want the next kicker. I don't think it's any different with coaches, and I think we see it going on throughout the entire National Football League right now. I was in college football for 19 years, and you saw that it was even, I thought, more in college football at the time. But now, you know, it's just there's so many lights on what we do. There's so many social media outlets. There's so many. The league has gotten so much bigger. The light of the NFL is so much brighter. We're playing internationally. We're playing Thursdays. We're playing Saturdays. We're playing Sundays. We're playing Mondays, right? So I think we all know what we signed up for. It's a big boy league, and I think we're all prepared when it's good, that it's really an imposter, and we're prepared when it's bad, it's really an imposter. So when it's good, you gotta play the next down and get going. When it's bad, you gotta figure it out and play the next down and get going. I think we all come to work with the same mentality. I think what we're doing today is preparing for Carolina.